everybody. We're back here on the banks of the Grand River here in Lower Sayreville. Behind us is the Jersey Central Power Light power plant. We started building back in the 1930s. The main one was built in 1955. It was used to generate power for Jersey Central Power Light. It was built here on the river, so they used the river to cool parts of the electrical plant. So as we look back over our shoulders, seeing the Grand River, you can smell the fish here when people come down and grab. Back in our days, kids, I didn't do it. A lot of our neighborhood kids all go grabbing and run around
and drinking
and other nefarious things, I'm sure, down here. But look at the Grand River. It's almost 70 miles long. You don't realize it's one of the longer rivers in New Jersey. It starts out way above Mountain Brook. And that area, the northern part of the state, and it flows down. And this is one part of the reason why the Sayreville Brickyard was established here in the 1800s, was so they could use the river for the transportation of the bricks. Because if you follow the river out here, we have boats going right here over our shoulder. They're heading out through the river, out into Round Bay, to go out near South Amboy, Staten Island, and then out into the Atlantic Ocean. So it was used for transportation way back in the day for the brickyard. But now you can see now it's a pretty nice little boat dock area and park. Come down here and sit here on the river.
When we were kids, the only thing that was here was a ramp. You had to walk in to unhook and hook up your boat. At one time, Sarah and Fisher owned 2,500 acres, including 5 miles of this riverfront, to dry brick. They had big shed-like buildings, and they would lay brick out to dry in the sun. They owned across the street what is now Town Lake, was a big clay pit when we were kids, and that's where they got the clay. That's why he chose this spot, the river and the clay that had the right mix of minerals to make a good quality brick.
Clay pits for me were always a little bit dangerous, but it was part of our sports history. After school, some of the days in the wintertime when we used to have cold winters, we could go out and ice skate and play hockey after school or weekends. Some of us would go out to clay pits, and I remember people telling us, be careful about going out there. It was so deep. You drown, you'll be gone in there. They'll never find you in the clay pits. But as you look out over the marshland here a little bit, we're looking, this is the border of Sayreville. You go on the other side, you're going out toward Edison on one side.
Edison over there, East Brunswick over there.
That rise of the hill is a dump. It's East Brunswick dump over there.
Edgeboro.
Yep, Edgeboro dump, and then beyond that, you go to New Brunswick.
Now it's got a solar panel array as the methane gas continues to percolate.
This river does have a little aggravation towards Sayreville here back when Hurricane Sandy came. This is the river when they had the big flooding from the hurricane that came up and wiped out part of Lower Sayreville below the Borough Hall area. A lot of homes were wiped out. Some never rebuilt. You see vacant lots today because the river here erodes so much from the hurricane. So it does have a factor. People come out here, drownings and different mishaps. So it's a part of the Sayreville history here to this day. So we're going to get in the car. We're going to go down here to the tower for the old last remnants of the Sayreville Brickyard. We're going to look at, and then go down to Borough Hall in that area and make our way around Sayreville. So let's go. All right, we're pretty much here at the point of where Sayreville began, by the Sarah Fisher brothers, our two friends that got together. Partners that came together to make the brickyard. This goes back, what,
1848 is
Way
when
back.
the business began.
It was booming.
1851, they owned 5 acres along the river. What is now called a housing development called Winding River was Sarah Fisher Brickyard.
But now this tower behind us, it's a 40-foot tower.
Smokestack.
And given back over to Sayreville Historical Society or town in 1990, but it goes back to the late 1870s. So it's the last remnants, remaining parts of the famous factory. We talked about the clay pits a little while ago because that was the clay that was conducive to making good bricks for the company. You can't see it, they're all gone, but that's where these new developments are, those houses back there. Those are all the clay pits where it was just go back for, I don't know, maybe a mile way back.
Approximately 600 acres of clay pits back there. And that's where they dug out the clay. And on either side, there was a lake once they got through digging the big holes for the clay. And we used to skate on those lakes.
And people go swimming, which I would never do. But
not in those lakes. I
But again, I played hockey back in there. And we always made sure the ice was solid, because it's not a place you want to fall in at here.
And if you grew up in Sayreville in the 60s and you tried to ride your bike across those pathways from there to East Cup Street, you didn't have your tires last very long, because it was steel and stuff like that all sticking up.
And again, the Raritan River is right behind us. You can't see it because of all the development here, but it's probably just a couple hundred yards to the river. So we're going to make our way down now to the deep end of Lower Main Street toward Borough Hall, the Borough Hall Park, the old police station where I worked at for about 3 years, the former old First Aid Squad building.
And Sayreville's first firehouse.
First firehouse down there on Main Street. And then start making our way back up Washington Avenue.
And by the way, that old firehouse used to be Borough Hall.
Way back in the day.
It was the first Borough Hall.
All right, let's go to Borough Hall.